Namaste yogis, welcome. Melissa here from Mystical Stone. Welcome to your Neck yoga class. So for today's practice, we are going to start with supine groin stretch. And for that, you want your chair, have a blanket or a block on top of the chair if you need extra height to get your knee at a 90-degree angle. And on the left side of the mat, have either a bolster, a pillow, or blocks just to hold on to your leg. Then we're gonna get ourselves onto half chair shavasana. So you're gonna get your right leg right on the chair and your left leg down on the mat. So you might scoop your body a little bit towards the left end of the chair, because if you stay at the center of the mat, that means that your legs are gonna go wide apart and you don't want to have your legs wider than hip distance. Once you are there, you can adjust your pillow or bolster. The only reason why we have an extra prop is so that we don't let the foot rotate out to the side. So you can actually hold onto your head, the back of the head, tuck your chin, look at your foot, press the heel away from you, flex your foot, and then release the foot. So your toes fall straight forward rather than out to the side. You're gonna feel that later on your hip, especially if you have external rotation of the hip and you're usually dog-footed. Your foot is gonna start moving out to the side, and we're gonna try to keep it center. Great. Now we're gonna adjust the head, maybe slightly tuck your chin, elongate the back of the neck, and bring your arms at a goalpost posture and relax here. If you find that this is uncomfortable for your head, your neck, you can have an extra block or blanket and place it under the head just for a little bit of height and comfort. Bring your arms at a goalpost posture. Close your eyes and breathe. If you like working with mudras, we're gonna bring the thumbs and index together into Gyan Mudra, and then extend your middle ring finger and your pinky. And then begin breathing slowly and mindfully. You may notice that your pelvis is slightly rotated. You may notice that your legs are still engaged, and you do want to let them go. Notice if your shoulders also feel a little bit crooked, maybe one shoulder is closer to the floor than the other. When we practice chair shavasana, what we are looking for is to decompress the lumbar spine onto the floor. So we do want to feel the lower back arch to release onto the floor, to disappear. Although you might have heard that it is healthy to keep the natural curvature of the spine, that is also true. But when we go into this pose, we're just allowing it to decompress for a few minutes. It can actually take up to 2 hours for the lower back to fully release. Now, as we are in the supine groin stretch, it might not be as easy to release the lumbar spine like it would be if you had both knees on the chair. But we still are going to let go and continue to breathe. The thing about these postures is that although you are not moving, there is much happening. For instance, right now we're working in rotating your hips. That's why we're trying to keep the left toes pointing forward rather than letting them flare out to the left. Another thing that we are doing is releasing the right hip flexor and getting a gentle stretch on the left hip flexor. Both hips are doing something different. One is flexing, the other one is extended. And we are trying to still keep the pelvis neutral, although the actions of the hips are different. And in the meantime, we do let the back relax. Depending on what's going on with your upper back and shoulders, you may feel your rib cage flaring. And we're gonna try to release the mid back and the upper back onto the floor as well. We're gonna breathe deeply into the tummy and expand. And then let the navel drop. Let the air out. Again, breathing into the tummy, expand. And exhale, release. 3 more breaths like this. When you are done with your 3 breaths, release your mudra if you have one. Wiggle your fingers. Send the awareness down to your feet and wiggle your toes. Move your feet side to side. And very slowly and mindfully bend your left knee, bring your foot sole on the floor. And by now, maybe you are already feeling a difference between the left and right hip. We're going to use the left foot to help us move the body towards the right. So you may lift the hips and move yourself towards the center of the mat and then towards the right side. We're gonna switch legs and you may use your foot also to get a hold of your prop, whether it's your bolster, blocks, or pillow, and pass it onto the other side. Once you're ready, you're gonna adjust the left leg now on the chair at a 90-degree angle. You do want to scoop your body towards the right side of the mat so that once again your legs can stay hip distance apart. You can adjust the chair if needed. Take a look at your foot, flex your foot first so that you can adjust it if needed. So your toes are pointing straight up rather than out to the right or inwardly. So right in center, and then release your toes forward. And we're just gonna have that prop for reference. It's not going to hold it per se, like it's not as heavy that it can do that, but at least we know if we're already externally rotating the hip. It will show when the foot starts going out. All right. When you're ready, adjust your head if needed. Elongate your neck without hyperextending, so not touching the floor with the back of the neck. Gyan Mudra if you're working with it, thumbs and index touch, and then goalpost posture. Relax your toes, so you don't need to keep the flexion of the foot. You can relax your toes as long as they go forward. Begin scanning your body from bottom to top, and you may already notice a difference between left and right. So we worked on relaxing the right hip flexor on the first side, and now we're extending it, and now we are relaxing the left hip flexor. So notice if, because of that, it might feel different, the stretch on this side. And sometimes it's not that necessarily, maybe that side is a little tense, more tense than the other, or maybe it feels better than the other side. It all depends, where do you carry the stresses of life? Many of us will carry the stresses on our hips, our lower back. Many of us will carry it on the upper back, shoulders, and neck. And so we just want to catch that. We want to listen to the messages of the body and then continue to observe your breath as you expand your tummy and let it drop. And you may also notice that your pranic flow changes, especially if you focus on the area that might be talking to you. If there is any muscle that is a little too obvious right now, that is stretching or tingling or any other sensation you catch, send your breath there with intention. Hold that area in your mind, in your mind's eye, and then exhale all the tension out. And we will continue to breathe like this. Keep your mudra firm but not tense. Remember that Gyan Mudra has the benefit of sending prana into the lower chakras, so the Muladhara, the Svadhisthana, and it targets your legs, your hips, which is what we're mostly working right now. Keep your face and your jaw relaxed. And although little, there is a bit of demand on your hips and your hamstrings, especially on the right side. But you also are putting a gentle demand on your upper back. We do want to release the rib cage onto the floor. I will leave you to it. Don't let your mind wander. Filling up the tummy as you inhale. And let your navel drop as you exhale. Rising. Falling. 3 more breaths like this. Release your mudra. Wiggle your fingers. Wiggle your toes. Move your feet slowly side to side. Bend your right knee, bring your foot sole onto the floor. And very slowly and mindfully, you're gonna help yourself towards the center. Let us relax both hips, having both knees at a 90-degree angle. This time you're gonna bring your arms overhead, fingertips towards the top, like if you were trying to reach the wall towards the head. Reach back and press your rib cage down. Gently tuck your chin just a little bit. No hyperextending the neck. Breathe deeply here. So your legs are relaxed, your feet are relaxed. And we're actively pushing the fingertips away from the center of the body and towards the top. If your hands do not touch the floor because your shoulders don't like that, you can keep your arms just as high up as it feels okay for the shoulder and pull your fingertips away. It's like moving the shoulder off its socket, and both sides actually, and breathe. And at the same time, we're actively pressing the rib cage down onto the floor. Now we're gonna work with Dirga Pranayama. Try to move your rib cage towards your fingertips. As your fingertips push towards the top, your rib cage goes there. Expand as you inhale, belly, side ribs, armpits, collarbone. Exhale from the collarbone, armpits, rib cage, and belly. And again, belly up, inhale, rib cage, into the back, into the armpits, into the collarbone. And when you're ready to exhale, first the collarbone, then the armpits, rib cage, and belly down. Let's do it again. Breathe in, belly up. Front of your ribs flare, side ribs, and upper back. Expand towards the floor. Fill up into the armpits, fill up into the collarbone, all the way to the top of the lungs. And exhale from the collarbone, armpits, side ribs, front of the body, and back body. Awesome. Bend the elbows, bring your arms at a goalpost posture first. Take a few moments here, relax completely and observe. How much did you use of your legs, your glutes, to do this Dirga Pranayama? So as we were lifting our arms, we were trying to release the diaphragm, the muscle at the bottom of the rib cage, which is the main muscle we need to get in contact with to tone the nervous system and to really create change in the body. So we're gonna take our hands and go into Ushas Mudra, interlace your fingers, and then rest your hands just right below the sternum on the top of your belly where the bottom rib cage is, just slightly below that. Relax your elbows towards the floor. Relax your shoulders into their sockets now. Adjust your head if you need to. Scan your body and make sure that your feet, your legs, and your glutes are relaxed. Now inhale into your hands. Expand as much as you can. And exhale, let your hands drop. Now as your hands drop, see if you can feel your ribcage sticking out because your belly is going down to the spine. Notice how that changes the position of the spine. Inhale, filling up into the hands. Elbows drop to the very top of your lungs. Exhale, empty your belly. Feel your ribcage sticking up because your belly is dropping. Your elbows might go gently out to the sides. Squeeze all the air out. And letting go, elbows in towards the body, fill up into the hands, expand your tummy. And exhale, drop your belly. Elbows maybe go gently out to the sides as your hands drop. Last breath like this. Inhale, hands up, elbows in. And exhale, hands down, elbows out to the sides. Return to your normal breath, relax your elbows, keep your mudra where it is, and observe. Notice the release of Apana. Apana is the energy that leaves you when you exhale. Apana is grounding and cleansing. We'll take one more breath here without controlling, just one breath in whichever way feels right for you. And release. Now, when you're ready, release your mudra, wiggle your fingers. We're gonna take our thumbs and place them right at the center of the armpits. This mudra is gonna help you to massage the lymph nodes of the armpits. We're gonna work with the mid and upper part, or mid part of your lungs. So this mudra here on the tummy, we're working on the diaphragm and the bottom lobes of your lungs. Now we're going midway. So thumbs in the armpits, press gently, just gently. Your palms are facing down towards your thighs and your fingertips are pointing towards one another. Now, as you inhale, expand your belly like if your hands were there. Feel up into your side ribs, front of the ribs and back body, and into the armpits. And as you exhale, empty from the top. Press your palms, your fingertips towards each other. They don't have to touch. Empty your side ribs, empty your belly. Again, from bottom to top, inhale belly, side ribs, chest. Fingertips move away from each other because you're expanding into the upper part of your chest, into the armpits. And when you're ready to exhale, fingertips move closer to each other naturally. Empty your side ribs, empty your belly. Again, inhale, belly. Into the rib cage. Into the armpits. Exhale from the top to the bottom. Fingertips may move closer to each other. Three more breaths like this. Find your rhythm. Inhale from bottom to top. Exhale from top to bottom. Inhale from bottom to top. And exhale from top to bottom. Last breath like this for a total of 3 breaths. Keep your legs, your glutes relaxed. Keep your face and your jaw relaxed. When you're done with your 3 breaths, release your hands by your sides. Curl your fingers in towards the palms. Move your knuckles towards the softer part of your forearms and pull your knuckles in towards you just to stretch the forearms. Rotate your wrist one way and the other. Bring your thumbs inside your fist and continue to move your wrist in circular motions both ways. And then when you're ready, release and shake the tension off. We're gonna go a little bit higher. So you're gonna bring your hands again into Usha's Mudra, interlacing your fingers behind the neck, not behind the head, but behind the neck. And then your thumbs are gonna go towards the sides of the neck. Make sure that the back of the head is down towards the floor. Rest your elbows towards the ground. Relax your legs, relax your glutes. Inhale into your belly, side ribs, chest, armpits, and up, all the way up into your neck, into your hands. And exhale from the neck into the side ribs, out from the rib cage, and out of the belly. Into the belly, rib cage, armpits, and all the way up into the neck. You may feel gentle pressure against your thumbs. Don't force your body, just guide the breath all the way up, and then exhale from the neck, armpits, side ribs, and out of the belly. Continue to breathe in Dirga Pranayama from belly to top and from top to belly. While you continue to breathe at your own pace, you do want to make sure that the rest of your body is relaxed, that your legs and your glutes are not active, they're not trying to help, that your abdomen is soft so that you can allow your belly to expand. So we continue to extend the diaphragm. When we send the breath into the hands now, as we place our hands at the back of the neck, just with the intention of filling up to the top of the lungs, we are working with the upper lobes of your lungs. So inhale once again into the belly, rib cage and armpits, and neck. And exhale from top to bottom. We're going to take 3 more breaths at your own pace. Don't let your mind wander. When you finish with your 3 breaths, you're going to slowly and mindfully release your hands. Bring them by your sides. You can adjust your head while you're there, and then release your hands by your sides. I don't know what I said, but I meant you can adjust your head while your hands are there. And then bring your hands by your sides, palms facing up. I don't know if this happens to you guys, but sometimes I think about saying something and then, I don't know, I have to think if I actually said what I thought. Okay, we're gonna take 1 more breath here, fully breath. And then release. Bring your hands towards the sky for Hakini Mudra. Draw your shoulders into their sockets. Inhale your arms overhead. No need to touch the floor. Actually, don't if you can. And then exhale, arms up. We'll continue to move in this motion, in this manner for the next couple of breaths. You want to make sure that your spine stays as close to the floor as possible, that your mudra is soft yet firm with intention, like if you were holding a bowl of energy in your hands. The heels of the hands are away from each other. Elbows are fully extended. And even if you're quite flexible, we're going to try to avoid going all the way to the floor. Instead, try to check in how far can you bring your arms before you feel the shift of your rib cage. That means that your spine is lifting and the movement is no longer being done by your shoulders, but rather by your spine. We want to avoid that kind of compensation, or at least be aware of it. The slower you breathe and move, the better. Let us take one more breath, full deep breath. At the end of your exhalation, release your hands by your sides, palms facing up, and observe. Are your legs or glutes active? Or are they helping? Is your abdomen tense? Can you release? How about your face and your jaw? How about your neck? And how about your breath? On your next inhalation, wiggle your toes and fingers. Move your feet, move your hands. And when you're ready, gonna move the chair out of the way. We're gonna extend the legs and pay attention how that feels, because after being on Chair Shavasana for a while, now we want to extend both hip flexors. You may get some sensation on the back of on your lower back, your hips, maybe it's the front, maybe are the sides. Just notice where. See if you can allow your rib cage to once again release onto the floor. If you need to adjust your head, you may do that. Bring your legs a little closer together so they might be about 1 to 2 fist distance apart. If that bothers your lower back, then bring your legs wider, that's okay. We're gonna continue to work with Gyan Mudra. So you're gonna bring your thumbs and index together. And actually, we're gonna turn this into Chinmaya Mudra. Chinmaya Mudra is curling the 3 fingers in towards the palms. And then bring your hands by your hips, palms facing down. Once we're here, we relax the shoulders into their sockets. And as we inhale, we point the toes and fill up the belly. Side trips, chest. And exhale, flex your feet and press the small of the back onto the floor. Keep your mudra soft, firm, but you make sure you're not strangulating your fingers. Inhale, point your toes, fill up your tummy, side ribs, chest, back body. And exhale, flex your feet. Press the back of the legs onto the floor. Press the small of the back onto the floor. Draw the navel down. Again, inhale. Anterior pelvic tilt, arch of the lower back shows up. Expand to the top of the lungs. And when you're ready, exhale, flex your feet, press the back of the legs onto the floor, press your back onto the ground, squeeze the navel in. And inhale, point, belly up. And when you're ready, exhale and flex and belly down. 3 more at your own pace. When you are done with your 3 rounds, finish them all. I'm going to release your mudra. Palms face up. Relax your feet and watch your breath. Bend your knees and bring your foot soles on the ground. Swing your knees side to side. You can have your blocks or bolster handy. You may need it. When you're ready, gonna bring your feet and knees about fist distance apart. Tuck your tailbone and press the small of the back onto the floor. Bring your arms at a T position, palms facing up or down, whatever feels better in your shoulders. Adjust your head, always adjust your head. Do not let the back of the head fall back. Don't let it pinch. Just make sure you feel a gentle elongation on the back of the neck. Okay, once you have your arm positioned, bring your right leg up and flex your foot. And then place the ankle over the left thigh, pushing your knee away. If this is uncomfortable for your ankle, you can have a blanket between the leg and the ankle. Like I don't have a blanket, but like for instance, something like this, just to have an extra padding. Not everybody needs it, but I know some of you will actually appreciate that. So you can try it if it's bothering you. Keep your foot flexed to protect your knee. And without using your arms, push your knee away from you on your next exhalation towards the front or top, bottom of the mat. And push. And inhale, release. And again, exhale, push your knee away. And inhale, release. 3 more. And inhale, release. Keep your hips balanced on the floor. Don't let your body lean towards the right side. Try to put some more weight onto the left hip. And on the 3rd breath, keep your knee pushing away from you. Keep your right foot active. And don't let your left knee flare. Keep your left knee also pointing straight ahead. Now, when you are ready, you can have a prop if you want on the left side of the mat. And on your next exhalation, keep your left foot on the floor, and you're only going to roll the weight onto the other edge of the left foot as you guide this junction of your ankle and the knee towards the left. So depending on your hips, you may land your knee and your foot sole on props. You may go all the way down onto the floor. This will all depend, once again, on what your body is doing. Either way, you want to roll the weight onto the outer edge of the bottom foot or the left foot. Your right foot sole is flat on the floor, including your big toe, and you're gently, without using your hands, activating your hip to pushing the knee away from you. So you get that activation through the hip. You may feel the glute. You want to make sure this is not pinching your lower back, and keep your right shoulder on the ground. Your nose may be pointing straight up to the sky, or maybe you'll be looking towards the left. And it all depends on your body. Continue to breathe deeply, and we're going to continue to expand into the belly and into the side of the body, in this case, the right side, so that we continue to unlock the diaphragm. Don't let your mind wander. Let us take one more breath here, full deep breath. On your next inhalation, slowly and mindfully come back to center. And as you exhale, adjust your hips, extend your right leg, and then straight down onto the floor. Place it down onto the floor and release your left leg down as well. Palms face up, relax and observe, and just notice if there is any difference between your right and left hip. Because we were stretching and releasing the right side, so chances are that you feel like your body's leaning more towards the right now. So we're gonna try to balance out the hips. And here, bring your arms at a T position, palms up or down. Bend your knees again, foot soles on the floor, and have your toes, knees about fist distance apart. Tuck your tailbone, and then extend your left leg up, flex your foot. When you're ready, place the ankle on the right thigh, and you can have a blanket in between them if needed. Balance your hips. Both feet are active, but most importantly, make sure the top foot is flexed and your toes are pushing back towards that left knee. This will prevent your knee from pinching. Now, when you're ready, as you take your next exhalation, push your left knee away from you and towards the bottom of the mat. And inhale, release. Again, exhale. Push your knee away. And inhale, release. We'll take 3 more breaths. Find your rhythm. Remember to keep your hips balanced. And when you get into the third breath, keep pushing your knee away from you and breathe. Just like we did on the other side, we're gonna go into a pelvic rotation. You are welcome to place your props on the other side if you know you need them, or maybe you didn't need it for one side. Have them on the other side because sometimes we are surprised how much difference might be between both sides. Once you have your props on the side, you're gonna rotate onto the outer edge of your right foot as your left foot goes across the body and towards the right side of the mat. So maybe on your blocks, or once again, all the way down onto the floor. If it's okay for the neck, gaze goes towards the left. Keep your shoulders grounded. Don't let your left shoulder come off the floor. And make sure that that left foot sole is flat on the mat and that your big toe is also touching the floor. And if it's not, then remember to place a prop or maybe more so that you can have your foot sole as well grounded as you can. Continue to breathe deeply and mindfully, this time into the left side. Direct your breath there, expand. And let all the tension go as you exhale. Rising. Falling. Three more breaths. When you are done with your 3 breaths, and slowly and mindfully bring yourself back to center. Extend your left leg up and bring that left leg down to the floor. Extend the right leg. Release your hands by your hips, palms facing up. And let us take a few moments here just to check in again with the pelvis if it still feels rotated, or perhaps now you feel a little more even. Wiggle your toes and fingers on your next breath. Extend your arms to the sides or overhead and give yourself a big stretch and squeeze tight, tight, tight. And exhale, release. Bend your knees, bring your foot soles on the floor. If you like, you can hug your knees and rock side to side, or you could keep your feet on the floor and let your knees swing side to side, or maybe both. When you are ready, come back to center, rest your feet on the floor and move on to your favorite side. Just check in with your body, with your breath, and use your top hand to help yourself up on your next exhalation. If you want, you can have a blanket to place it under the knees for extra padding. Have about fist distance between the knees. Press the top of the feet on the floor and come onto your tabletop position. Before we go any further, we're gonna go into sort of a cow stretch. So your tailbone goes up and your belly drops. Once we're here, you do want to make sure that your hips remain over the knees. So we're gonna try not to sink back nor bring them forward. So try to stack them, but do send your hips up or your tailbone up. Now walk your hands maybe about one hand distance forward, and then rest the elbows down onto the floor. From here, we're gonna bring the thumbs and the index fingers together, like drawing a diamond shape with the hands. Place it down on the floor and walk your elbows a little wider apart. See if you can rest your forehead on the mat right in between the elbows. So rather than pushing the body forward, we're gonna try to just rest the forehead down. Watch for the shoulders. And if you need to come back a little bit, that's okay. What you want is to avoid having like your core engaged. You don't want to be on a half plank kind of posture. You don't want to have to keep your shoulders active. We basically are hanging out here. You do want your shoulder blades together and your forehead touching the floor. If there is high blood pressure or eye pressure or glaucoma, you're gonna keep your elbows up and keep your head slightly above the chest. And we keep that pelvic anterior position. Don't let your mind wander. This position promotes Dirga Pranayama. So we have been working with deep breathing or the three-part breath since the beginning of the practice. So you want to really get your breath as far down into your tummy as you can and expand it. This pose will unlock your diaphragm. Remember, we're targeting this muscle today to tone your nervous system and get rid of that chronic pain that's been bugging you. Make sure that both shoulder blades are squeezing towards the center of your back, that you feel even on your upper body. Do focus on your breath for the next few rounds. Relax your jaw. Let us take one more breath here, full deep breath. When you finish that exhalation on this tall child's pose position, press your forearms onto the floor, lift your head, draw your elbows closer so they are right under the shoulders. And once you have your shoulders stacked, you're gonna bring yourself up onto your tabletop position. Cat cows, inhale, open your chest, look forward or up. Exhale, tuck your tailbone, ground your back, let your head down. Again, inhale. And exhale. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Come back to center. We're gonna walk down the blanket, and if you like, you can fold it so it's about one hand wide, and you place it somewhere at the middle of the mat, maybe a little bit higher, so that your navel is gonna land right at the center of the blanket. Before you go on to it, if you have at home blocks like this, you're gonna have one on each side of the mat. If you do not have blocks, don't bother. We're gonna do it without them. You're still gonna feel it. When you're ready, you're gonna walk your body forward, go onto your elbows, and bring your navel towards the center of the blanket. Let your big toes touch. Allow your heels to flare. Stack your hands and rest your forehead down. We'll take a few moments here. You're gonna feel your pubic bone down towards the ground. And just to equalize the upper body, on your next breath, you're gonna bring your hands towards the sides of the hips with your palms facing up. If you have blocks, you're gonna take your blocks and bring your hands right under them. Palms facing up. Extend your fingers, rest your forehead onto the floor, and bring your feet parallel so the top of the feet are pressing down. Press them and engage so that your knees might leave the floor. On your next inhalation, lift the arms and exhale down. Find your rhythm. No need to come too high. No tension is on the neck. 3 more. On the third one, we stay up and breathe. Next time we exhale, we release. Hands on top of the blocks, gaze to the right, big toes touching, heels out, shoulders round down to the floor. Feel your breath going all the way into the upper back. We're really getting to expand the lungs here. Gaze to the other side to balance your neck. Forehead down onto the floor. Hands under the shoulders. Inhale here. And as you exhale, push yourself up on your knees. You're gonna walk yourself onto your seated position so you can help yourself with your blanket. You can have a blanket and a block or 2 blocks just to tilt your pelvis forward. Once you sit on your prop or straight on the floor, you can have your legs at a V shape, or you can cross them or have one foot on top of the other. Whichever you choose, make sure that it feels right and that you're able to send your pubic bone down and your tailbone up. Your ribcage may pop forward, so you want to bring it gently in. Bring your hands together at the center of the heart and relax your shoulders. And we'll take a few moments here just to observe the breath. So you may notice a difference between the quality of your breath now and the way it felt when we started the practice today. Notice in this seated position, if you feel even or you feel like you're leaning onto the left or the right, and just try to find your center. Allow your shoulders to stay right over the hips. Press the crown of the head towards the ceiling. Gently tuck your chin. We're going to seal our practice with our metta mantra. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be safe. May I be brave. May I be peaceful. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. May you be brave. May you be peaceful. May all be happy. May all be healthy. May all be safe. May all be brave. May all be peaceful. Inhale through your nostrils, expand. And through your nostrils, exhale. Inhale to Om. Observe. Tuck your chin on your chest and open your eyes, gaze forward, and remember to just rub your hands to build up the extra good vibes and shower yourself, and then shake off whatever it is that you don't need. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.